Hello, everybody. It's episode 21 of Grizzlies Worldwide. And this evening with us, this evening we go back to the main city, to Memphis. And joining us on this 21st episode, we have Nate. Nate with us. First of all, I want to thank Nate to being here and to ask you, okay, Nate, how are you? How are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
This is my first time on a being a guest on a podcast, so very excited to talk
yeah.
about basketball and Grizzlies and everything. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. So let's go. Okay. First thing, I want to. I'm going to ask you about last season, and last season has a lot of. It was like we all know the season it was. But we didn't even start a summer camp, and you had this GG injury. How do you see this? What's your
Well, that
expectations on this?
knee injury it really hurts because coming off of the last season, his rookie season, he had a phenomenal rookie season where he performed very well and had very shining moments in it. So him getting hurt before the season even begins, before training camp even starts, it definitely hurts. And I hate that. And he will be missed, but he won't be gone that long. I'd say
Mm-hmm.
it's 3 months, the max.
Yeah.
But with the Grizzlies medical staff, he could be out longer, but I hope not. But we'll just have to see. So yeah.
Yeah, but okay, let's just I don't know, just hope for the best. I think the last report was he was going to be evaluated in 10 weeks, I believe. So let's just hope that it's 10 weeks. Okay, and Gigi, as you said, was like was one of the main players last season. So going going back to last season, how did you as a Grizzlies fan, how did you watch last season, and what upsides, the downsides, and maybe silver linings you took out of this last season?
Well, first of all, last season it was very tough to watch as a Grizzlies fan. Trust me, I know because I went to some of the games and it was
You were
the
there.
vibes. Yeah, the vibes were there, but it was all the injuries that happened and Ja not being there for the first 25, doing pending his suspension from the last
Yeah.
summer.
Uh-huh.
It was very tough, but they had many upsides, many downsides. Some of the upsides were, they found out the key pieces in GG Jackson and Vince Williams Jr. And honestly, Jaren had a great season. Bane had a great season. Overall, it was tough, but it was some very shining, great moments. And some of the downsides were obviously all the injuries and Ja being hurt after coming back from a 25 game suspension. He only played 9 games, so and what sucked for me was I didn't even get to see him play at all. And
Uh-huh.
so that really made me mad. But last season was tough. But we gotta move on from that. This new season, I'm hoping it's gonna be a great one. No injuries. I know we got GG Jackson out right now, but
Yeah.
I just don't want to repeat of last season. So yeah.
Yeah. And coming into next to last season, um, what were your expectations? Because okay, we knew that we wouldn't count with Ja for 25 games. We knew that already. And just like a couple of days before the season started, we knew that we were without Steven Adams for the rest of the season. Starting the season, what were your expectations?
I thought I'm not gonna lie. I thought they was gonna make the playoffs last season.
Hmm.
So, but with what happened, that didn't go well. So yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned some upsides that was. If you didn't mention, I was going to bring them up. Um, course, Gigi Jackson, because if the season didn't went the way unfortunately it went, maybe we didn't. Of course, we wouldn't have seen
Yeah,
so
we
much
have
Gigi
seen him
Jackson
for Vince, so
and Vince also. So, um, Vince, what do you have to tell about Vince?
he's a great player. He showed he can really be a pest on the defensive end, and just kind of knock guys off their feet.
Mm-hmm.
If you choose to. He's kind of like I'm not. Well, he's kind of like Dylan Brooks, but like a
Uh,
better.
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah, yeah, he kind of like Dylan Brooks, but a better version. He's not chunking threes and all of that stuff that Dylan did, as you know. But
Uh-huh. Do you think like he took some of the Dylan Brooks mentality? And yeah, I agree with you. He has all the potential to be a better player. With all due respect to Dylan Brooks, but do you think that he took some of that spirit? That spirit that Dylan Brooks had. And was like with Dylan leaving to the Rockets, there was like quote quote like a hole there, like that spot. And do you think that Vince, in some sort of sense, like took that role to himself with a better playing, maybe?
yeah, I think he took that role definitely with a better offensive game. So yeah,
Hmm. And also, no, Gigi. Did you know Gigi before he started playing with the Grizzlies for the hustle, maybe, or didn't you?
I mean, I met Gigi in person.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, yeah, the
that's
son. Yeah, he's a very cool dude. So
and regarding his basketball, um, let me ask you: is Gigi like in person, like the cool guy we always see on Twitter and social media and everything?
yeah, 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 yeah. He's a cool guy. He's
Yeah.
really funny. So,
Okay. Um, and also you mentioned because and we knew this starting the season that we wouldn't have a job for 25 games, so that led to Bain to Des having more important role, like being the primary on scouting from the other teams, right?
yeah.
And then it also happened to Jaren, especially when Des also got injured. But regarding Des, how did you see Des game developing this season, and what he can uh, bring on coming into the next season?
Well, last season, Bane, not having job, Bane had a big role on it.
Mm-hmm.
He had a lot to handle. Being the main guy, him and Jaren had to carry the load basically all season. And then when Bane got hurt back in January, it was tough because that was the mostly the bulk of your shooting really that you had. I mean, you had Luke.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, that was it. You know. And then Jaren, him, yeah, like I said, both of them had a heavy load on their shoulders, but both of them had a great season last season. So, but it just didn't go the way that we thought it would. But coming into this season with everybody healthy, I think Bank can bring. Honestly, I think Bank can have an MVP type season and
Mm-hmm.
possibly be an All Star. So yeah,
Mm-hmm. And Jaren, because Jaren is, it's of course it's my opinion, but his especially his offensive game, because his defensive game we already know, but his offensive game has developed a lot this season. Would you agree?
yeah, I agree.
Hmm. Okay, so then we had the draft. Okay, we were with coming into the draft. We had the seventh pick. Then with the lottery, we went to the ninth pick. Um, there was this ongoing debate on Twitter about, especially about Klingon. On were you on Klingon train? Were you on Edey train? Were you on Nan train? Where were you before the draft?
I was on the clinging train. I'm not gonna lie. I
Uh
would.
huh. Okay.
I wanted Memphis to grab him.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't care where, as long as it was a top 10. Because you don't know where these guys are gonna go. With all these speculations on Twitter and the media, just talking. You know. But I'm happy that we got Edie. I really hope he pans out. So yeah.
Um. Yeah. Yeah. And I was going also to ask you that. Okay. So you were on Klingon. Okay. But then we draft Edey. Okay. How do you see Edey fitting with this team?
I think he will be the day one starter and the starter until I think forever. Honestly. So Penny he don't get hurt because it's always something with the Grizzlies players and their health. So I hope he is good for this team. I feel like he's gonna. I feel like he's filling a hole that was needed. Losing Steven Adams hurt,
Mm-hmm.
so he's gonna fill that void very much. So
How do you see him with Jack together with the screens, the pick and roll, and also okay, but first with Jack, I'm going to ask you something else.
yeah,
With Jack, how do you see that?
I think him and Ja will be great. The videos we seen on Twitter with the pick and roll, them
Mm-hmm.
working out together. I think this is gonna be special. It's gonna be a next, a new version of Greece's basketball. So I think it's gonna be great.
And I was also going to ask you, how do you see him also with Jaren? Because uh, Jaren, um, and we've seen this over the years. Jaren is much better of a defender as a roaming defender, as like a four,
Hmm.
and not so much as a five. So, how do you see that partnership going on, especially on defense, with Zach Edey and Jaren?
I think us grabbing Edie allows Jaren to go back to the four position
Mm-hmm.
and then Roman defender, like you said. And with Zach Edey, there's two twin towers, on a defense.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you also got Marcus Smart, which he's you know, a former defensive player of the year. So you got
Yeah.
two team, then you got a 7-3 guy. So I mean, it's the defense is there. So we just gotta make it all click together. So
Yeah. Okay. So also we draft Jalen Wells and Cap Spencer. Did you know them? Did you didn't before?
I didn't know any of
Mm-hmm.
it.
Okay, but
The only rookie I know is Zach Edey because I watched him play in the tournament. But as
mm-hmm.
far as Cam Spencer, Jalen Wells, I've never seen those guys play in my life.
Okay, me neither. Before
Yeah,
the
only
Grizzlies draft them,
a
yeah, me neither. But okay, so that leads me to the next topic. We did get to watch them on Summer League.
Mhm.
How and not Summer League in general, but specifically because we were talking about Jalen Wells and Cam Spencer. How did you see both of them in this Summer League?
They did well. I watched majority of the games, and honestly, they performed well. They're two shooters that are needed because you can never
Mm-hmm.
have too many shooting on your team. So and
Mm-hmm.
and with Luke signing that 1 year deal, he may be gone after that. So there's a chance for either Jalen Wells or Cam Spencer to slide in their role and take that spot. But honestly, I think they will be valuable pieces as well for this team. Also with Zach Edey. So I think overall, the my grade on the Grizzlies draft is I would give it a B.
A B.
Because
Okay. Okay. that's cool, and probably it's fair to um the summer league in general, because I I'm not gonna lie, like after like one whole season, and I felt the same way that you did because coming into this season, even knowing that Ja was out for 25 games, and even knowing that Steven Adams was out for the whole season, I still had expectations to make the playoffs, and of course, especially after Ja got injured, that game was quite obvious that it was not going to happen. So it was like the first time, to be honest, that I watched Summer League, and I was really excited to watch the Summer League.
Mhm.
Um, how did you? Okay, you already told me before you started recording this that you watched the Summer League.
Yeah, they,
Yeah. So how did you see the Grizzlies on the Summer League, and especially like Scotty, Gigi also, but like Scotty was also very good on Scotty Pippen, of course.
they were.
Um, on the summer league. But how did you see the overall the Grizzlies' performance on the summer league this year?
Overall, they had a great summer league. They came up short in the championship game, but Scottie Pippen performed very well. And GG too. Also, Jake LaRavia,
Yeah,
he battled
Jake.
his,
Yeah.
he had his fair share of injuries, you know. But as long as he's out there performing and he's healthy, I think he's going to be a great end of the bench player for us, honestly. But
Mm-hmm.
back to Scottie Pippen, he performed very well. Earn. I think he should earn a standard contract, but
Mm-hmm.
he's going into his second year on a two-way contract, so and he can only play 50 games. So I mean, after that, you got to make a decision. Either you're gonna sign him or you're not.
Yeah,
So
but okay, I agree. But do you think that it's like would you agree that it may be wise from the Grizzlies, especially if they talk with the player like okay, like just something like okay, we have 50 games to where you can play on a two-way,
yeah,
but some at some point of the season you're going to go into a standard contract. It doesn't really have to be now because there's like the 50 games. So you think like for the Grizzlies standpoint, it's wise just not to rush maybe on it.
yeah, I think don't rush it. Just wait it out and see. But when it's getting close to that 50 game mark, I think it's come down to is me personally, I would sign him,
Mm-hmm.
but that
Right
means you
now.
got to somebody else. Yeah, right now I would if I
Mm-hmm.
was Zach Kleiman or Taylor Jenkins, I would be like, hey, let's sign Scottie Pippen Jr. because he's proved to us he can play on this team. He can play great NBA basketball. He's a great backup point guard. He could really back up Ja. So I think if, like I said, if I was running things, I would sign Scottie Pippen Jr. right now. But I'm not. So we'll just see what happens this season. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay. And also, you mentioned Jake. I was going to also to ask you about Jake because Jake, especially yeah, last season he had at some yeah he had his injuries too,
Mm-hmm.
and he had a bit of like a slander from part of his Twitter too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what your views on Jake Laravia?
I'm not gonna
Because
lie.
me personally, I think that he can be a valuable. He still has to prove it on a normal season, not like this last one. But it's only my point of view, and of course, I want to know yours, not mine. Um, he can be a very valuable rotation player, but how do you see Jake and his resilience?
I'm not gonna lie. When we first drafted Jake LaRavia, I was kind of high on him. I thought he was going to
Mm-hmm.
be a great valuable piece to this team, but he's had his fair share of injuries throughout the years and all of that stuff. But like I said, this past summer league, he did great. He had some great highlights. I watched him play all the games, and he did well with the team. So he just got to transition that into the regular season and being a solid bench player for us. So,
Hmm.
and just stay healthy. You know.
Yeah, yeah. For all the players, for all the
Oh yeah,
players, yeah,
all the players.
yeah, for all of them. Uh, okay, that was the free agency, and the Grizzlies didn't sign anyone on the free agency. Well, they did sign J Huff, that was a center that was playing for the Orlando Magic, I believe, and they waived Trey Jamison. Besides that, the Grizzlies did nothing on the free agency. My question is, on your point of view, was it necessary to do something that wasn't done, or maybe the Grizzlies didn't do anything because they had like probably all the pieces they needed? So you probably would, if that's the case, you're not going to just start to make moves just for making moves. Because
Uh,
there's also this thing, because that when you get to free agency or to during the regular season to the trade deadline, it's normal that fans want things to happen and signings and everything, and nothing happened with the Grizzlies. Do you think that this was wise, or we should have done something?
I mean, honestly, for agency, I'm not really mad that they didn't do anything because I mean, you basically got your team is basically set.
Mm-hmm.
Your
Yeah,
starters, your starting five. Your bench is well, you don't. So,
yeah. So
but
you don't have to.
honestly, I think the free agency part, I'm not mad at it. Because you got your starting five set, and as far as the bench goes, you got GG, you got Vince, you got
BC, you got Aldama, just.
Marcus Smart. So you really got a set team. So they really didn't need to do much other than try to
Mm-hmm.
get a big, which they did in J Huff. He's on the
Mm-hmm.
two.
Yeah,
But
on a two-way. Yeah. Also, on the off season, there was this Luke Kennard situation that uh, that kept us Grizzlies fan and what was going on, because we had a team option which we declined. But immediately when we declined, there was this information that both parts were working on an agreement. In fact, it's like 3 weeks after this. Looked really resigned with the Grizzlies for another year, which was also the team option, and on a lesser value. Mm,
yeah, Luke,
Yeah,
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 I'm
look,
straight.
yeah, look.
Yeah,
Because we are always talking when we talk about the Grizzlies. There's some things that we're always talking, and one thing that we're always talking is spacing and 3-point shooting.
mhm.
And okay, and we have Luke, that's one of the best 3-point shooters in the league. So Luke, go ahead, please.
Yeah, Luke. I'm glad that we re-signed him for this 1 year deal. People was going crazy, like it was taking so long for them to sign him. But in my head, I was like, he's just trying to figure out the right numbers and all that stuff. Just
Mm-hmm.
talking with the organization, just seeing what's right and what's not right. But honestly, I'm glad we got him back for 1 year, for one more year. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he provides that shooting that we need along with Bane and also with the rookies Cam and Jalen Wells. So I think it's gonna be great.
Okay, and okay, also this we something that yeah, I was also going to ask you. Um, Also on this off season, we traded Zaire. Um, what were your thoughts on Zaire? Yeah, what were you? Because of course we know that someone had to go. It was
Yes,
Zaire.
something
What
like
were
that.
your thoughts on Zaire?
Zaire, it sucks. Honestly, for me, he was one of my
Mhm.
favorite young guys. He had some okay moments. He didn't perform as well as he should have, but this is how the NBA works. You gotta perform or you gone. So, and they would
Yeah,
they chose Zaire. So, but I'm hoping he does well in Brooklyn with the Nets. So,
yeah, me too, me too, me too. All the love for Zaire, and yeah, uh, yeah, and I kind of agree with you because Zaire's to me it seems like he worked. Sometimes he worked very well with jazz, especially,
mhm.
but then. Mm, Ja not being around, it was, and I was always like rooting for Zaire, and I still am, as I told you now that he's in the Nets, and I hope the best for him.
Mhm.
Ag- Um, not against the Grizzlies, of course, but against all the other teams. All the best for him. But yeah, someone had to go, and if you had to put like Zaire, Conchar, uh, Jake, if you were the GM, who would you try to wake?
Out of those three, Zaire, Conchar, Jake,
Hmm.
honestly, for me, it would be Zaire. I'm not gonna lie.
No, me too. Me too. I was just asking, but yeah, me too. Um, Conchar, do you like Conchar?
I mean, he's all right. I don't. I mean, I know he's on the team, but I'm not familiar with his game like that. I'm not gonna lie.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's a great bench player, but honestly, I don't see him being on this team in the future. So this
Hmm.
is this is my opinion, though. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I don't know how you feel about him, but me, I don't think he's gonna be on this team moving forward in the future. But
yeah. Moving forward on the future, I I really don't see it too, but he's a player that I like because uh, many times fans complain that he doesn't really play well, but he creates kind of a mayhem with his
Mhm.
defense. So it's a yeah, it's a for me he's a valuable bench player. Yeah, but as we evolve, okay, as a team, yeah, I think that this season, next season, probably we're gonna lose GD too.
Yeah,
Okay, so now we are like 31 days. Okay, here in Portugal it's just 30 days. To start for the starting of the preseason,
hmm
and our roster actual at this moment is 14 players. So we, which means of course we have an open spot. Uh, do you think that you kind of answered in a certain way, but I want to ask you: do you think that okay, it is okay to go with a 14-man roster? Do you think that it's really necessary to fill in that extra roster spot, or we can leave it? Like for instance, as you said, and that's why I said that you kind of answered without me asking.
yeah,
Like for instance, if we approach the playoffs and okay, we have that extra spot, we can use it to convert contract of Scottie Pippen from a two-way to a standard contract,
hmm
right? And also, who knows what can happen at the trade deadline? Also, can show up a 2-for-1, a 1-for-2 deal. So, are you okay with the first 14-man roster, or do you think that it should be 15?
yeah. Right now, 14-man roster is good with me because I mean, you have that open spot, and like I said, there's no need to rush it because I mean you don't need it right now, but at some point in this season, it's probably wise to go ahead and fill that spot. And like I said before with Scottie Pippen, I think they should sign him, and that they should honestly they should waive Derrick Rose and sign Scottie Pippen Jr. So
This, sorry, I didn't get you.
I said they should waive Derrick Rose and sign
Ah,
Scottie
okay,
Pippen
yeah.
Jr. So yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you're thinking of a 14 man, but without Rose and Scottie Pippen in. That's
yep,
yeah. Okay. Okay, but still leave the open roster spot.
yeah,
Mm.
leave it open for now, and then
Yeah, because I mean, like for regular season, it's okay to have like a 14-man roster
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
you're not going to use 15 anyway, and you have all the two ways. So yeah,
Mhm.
I agree with you. Um, no, I want to also okay because you mentioned a while ago how do you evaluate? First of all, let me ask you. Uh, you've been like a Grizzlies fan like forever. I'm guessing it's forever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then it's like, so you probably seen prior GMs on Grizzlies. I'm guessing also.
To prior GMs,
Yeah, like Tim Wallace.
nah, not really.
No, no. Okay. So, okay. So, okay. But how do you evaluate Zach Kleiman's work?
Zach Clem, I think he's a great GM. You know, he's had some questionable decisions over the
Mm-hmm.
years, but honestly, these past couple years, he's done decent. You know, he's a great GM. He's made some trades that I wouldn't have made, but honestly, and he's drafted a lot of players.
Mm-hmm.
That's stuck with the team, some didn't. So, but he's had a great 10 years so far. But I don't know if I don't know. He's
Yeah, yeah. But I think I'm not mistaken. But if we take out Derrick Rose, of course, Marcus Smart, probably maybe forgetting someone. Um, but all the other players, and probably I am forgetting some player. All these players have been drafted by the Grizzlies, which also indicates like some good work from the front office and
mhm.
namely the GM. Would you agree with this?
Yeah.
Okay, so a couple more questions to you. I want to know, like, you if you can do this, like, the third, the second, the first favorite Grizzlies, current favorite Grizzlies for you. Like,
Cur-
first you start for like the third, then the second, and then the first, and you can just let me know why each one of them.
Current Grizzlies. Third it would be third it would be GG. Yeah, it's kind of hard.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
My
Uh,
third favorite Grizzly it would be GG Jackson. Simply because he's had a great rookie season. He's proved his worth in the NBA. You know, coming from a two-way contract to a standard contract.
mhm.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite young players in the league as of now. So yeah,
How do what do you see Gigi ceiling being?
say his ceiling.
Yeah, his ceiling as a player.
Uh, hmm,
It is a tough question, I know.
yeah,
Just,
we gotta think about this. I think he can be an all-star,
mhm.
maybe MVP one day. Just
Yeah,
never know.
okay. Yeah, I was asking you this also because just this season he broke like a record, a lot of records, especially regarding his youth, and from players like LeBron James, KD, um, Kobe Bryant also. So yeah, that's a good question I had to ask you. So you told me your third favorites. What's yours? Which is your second favorite Chris
My
player?
second favorite current Grizzly is Jaren Jackson Jr.
Mm-hmm.
And because him, he's a he's a great defender, great, he's big, just overall big. He's
Mm-hmm.
one of my favorites on the team. Also, outside of Ja, him and like I said, him and Jeezy are my next two favorite players on this current team. So yeah, Jaren, he's a overall great NBA player, human being, all of that. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So, from your answer, I'm guessing, but correct me if I am wrong, that
mm.
your favorite is Ja.
Yeah, my overall favorite is John Morant. Yeah,
Yeah, mine too. Mine too. Yeah, okay. What do you think about Ja? What makes Ja so special as a basketball player?
John Morant is a basketball player. I think no matter where he's playing at, whether he's in season, off season, anywhere he goes, he's a light up the crowd. He got that energy in him. He got that hard working mentality that I love about players, especially him. So
Mm-hmm.
watching him from his rookie season to now, he's changed so much. His game has changed so much. The way he the way he communicated with his teammates and all of that. You know, he's really become the leader of this Grizzlies team, and I think he will be one of the greats. He's gonna have a
Indeed.
great NBA career. So
Yeah. So I am assuming from your answer that you were there when Ja was drafted and started playing for the Grizzlies, right?
yep, yep, drafted number 2 overall back in 2019. You know,
What were your expectations on Ja when he got drafted?
uh, I thought, I didn't watch him at Murray because he went to college at Murray State, but I didn't watch him in
Uh-huh.
college. So I started watching Ja when he was drafted. So I didn't know about Ja until he was drafted because I watched the draft when he was drafted. So my expectations wasn't that that great starting off because I didn't know about Ja until obviously he came to the team. So, but after he came to the team, he started proving himself. He started balling out. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and the way he developed over these years.
yeah, he's developed very well. From the way he cuts to the basket, his offensive game, defensive game, the way he leads the team. His IQ is I don't it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Him him being only 24, 25 years old and having that high of an IQ for the game of basketball is crazy. So like I said, he's gonna be one of the greats. He may
Yeah,
yeah, he may
yeah,
be
for sure.
with LeBron James and Michael Jordan one day. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I would definitely stamp that and sign that too.
Hmm.
Um, Also regarding Ja, also regarding Ja Morant. Um, um, how do you think? Are My question is because okay, NBA has this recency bias all over. So, people are. Would you agree that people right now are sleeping on Ja Morant because basically, as you said in the beginning, they haven't seen Ja play for like a year and a half.
Yeah, they haven't seen him play for a year and a half, and everybody just wrote him off. Like I don't know why.
Uh-huh.
It's John Moran. Like y'all know what he can do on a night to night basis. So, but they'll wake him back up. Don't worry.
Yeah, the get back is on the way. Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Also, no, this is like a non-Greece topic, but I also want to ask you, like, what are your two, three favorite players that don't play for the Grizzlies and never did?
Uh, do it have to be like current or like back in the day, or doesn't matter?
Doesn't matter. It's just
Okay.
your choice.
My three favorite players. Steph Curry.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Anthony Edwards and
Uh-huh.
Victor Wembanyama. Those are my three favorite players that don't play for the Grizzlies.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Um. Also, your thoughts on Taylor Jenkins? Is he the coach to lead us to the championship?
Tyler Jenkins. I'm gonna say no,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, but he's he's a great coach. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna take it over.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great coach. He's led this team to back to back seasons where they were the two seed and they made the
Yeah.
playoffs, but they came up short. That first year they made it to the second round versus the Warriors. Ja got hurt, and it was pretty much wrapped for that season. And then the season before last, when they played the Lakers in the first round,
Yeah, but they didn't have Steven Adams and
they didn't
BC,
have
so
Steven
they
Adams.
were sure.
And then Ja got hurt again. He tried to go
Uh-huh.
with Anthony Davis. I was there at that game. That was my first ever Grizzlies playoff game. It was,
It
man,
was?
yeah, it
Wh-
was. It was
Which one? Which
crazy.
one?
That first round game versus the Lakers, the
Yeah.
first game. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was crazy in there. I loved it. So
So, uh, you said he's a great coach, but you don't
yeah,
think that he's the one to take us there. Why?
we uh I don't know. I don't think, well, just based off his resume, I don't think he can. I I, I don't see him being the coach of the future for the Grizzlies. Let me say
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay,
that. I think
that's
it's
fair.
gonna be someone else, but you just never know. Maybe Ty Jenkins can figure this thing out and lead this thing to a finals one day. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see.
Okay, that brings me also to the next question. Coming into next season, um, what were your expectations on next season? And starting point, everybody stays healthy.
Yeah, next season, I'm hoping everybody stays healthy. I don't want to repeat the last season where everybody gets hurt and we have to
Yeah,
sign all like 10, 20 guys that's not even going to be here, you
yeah.
know. But next season, I'm hoping for the best, I think it'll be great with everybody back. And I think they can make the playoffs again and probably be a top five seed. Probably not number two again, but probably I'd say probably 4 or 5
Wh-
seed going to the playoffs.
which team do you see on that top 4 or 5 on the West?
You gotta throw in Oklahoma City,
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota, Dallas coming off their finals loss,
Mm-hmm. Maybe
and
the Nuggets.
the
Um,
Nuggets. Well, mm,
I'm also. I was just asking, but
yeah, they'll probably be at that three, probably that four seed, the Nuggets. So yeah,
and like, what is okay? But there's of course there's 6 spots to get the playoffs directly. So getting into the playoffs, what do you think that we as Grizzlies fans should expect to be the bare minimum for the Grizzlies to reach the next season?
bare minimum is. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say West Conference Finals, being
Hmm.
everybody's healthy. I'm not gonna be delusional and say, "Oh, we're going to the finals next year" and all that stuff, because it's people out there saying, "Oh, the Grizzlies going to the finals next year." No, we're not. Okay, we got to get there first. We
Yeah.
gotta have a good record, everybody healthy, make the playoffs, go through the playoffs, beat these teams, and make the finals. So, but yeah, the West Conference Final, that's my ceiling for next year or for this upcoming season. So yeah,
Is there any particular team that you would like to face on this Western Conference Finals? Someone.
no, we just gotta beat them all. Just gotta beat them all.
So- okay, but is some team that you would like to beat the most?
Uh, the Timberwolves are one of 'em, and the Thunder is my second.
Uh-huh. Okay, okay, okay. Uh, have a okay. I have a one last question
Mm,
to ask you, and usually I ask this question um to Grizzlies fans that are not from Memphis, and I asked them what made them become Grizzlies fan, not being from Memphis, myself included, of course. Uh, but also I asked this from people from Memphis, and like
mm.
the majority of the people that been on podcasts have, from Memphis. Nate, what is it like to be a Memphis Grizzlies fan in Memphis?
Being a hometown Grizzlies fan is nice. You get to rep the team. You see, you may see a player or two out and about. I personally, I haven't, but I know some people that have. But being a hometown Grizzlies fan is nice. I love it. I love rooting for the team, showing off my team spirit everywhere I go. So yeah,
Mhm.
it's very nice, and being able to go to the games in person is nice too.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I envy you for that. And um, also, what do you think? Like, because uh, I had this sometimes when I ask this question from people from Memphis, they all like emphasize the fact that the Grizzlies they put like a good vibe on the looks of the city from the outer the out of the city, not the city itself, of course. Do you think that Grizzlies um give like because from my understanding, and of course I may be wrong because I'm not from Memphis.
mm,
I'm not even from the state, so there's like this thing that Memphis sometimes, because of several issues that doesn't don't matter for basketball, has like a kind of a bad not connection, but a bad rap maybe. Um, how do you see this Memphis Grizzlies team working for the for making for giving another image of the city of Memphis?
well, I think this Grizzlies team organization gives a great look for the city because it's not, I know people when they think of Memphis, they think of all the crime and all of that stuff, but it's actually a nice city. Being from here
Mm-hmm.
all my life, it's a great city. They have a lot of things you can do here and all of that, and having the Grizzlies here, I think that's a plus because there's something to do. You can go to the games and whatever. And I think they put a good image on the city as a whole because if they wasn't here, then yeah, I can understand why people would think the way they think about Memphis. But I think the Grizzlies have a great positive image on the city, and they give the city a good look. You know.
Yeah, and want to just got for myself. I want to state for the record that despite all the things that I see on social media and everything, but I do have the image of Memphis as a city of hardworking people, loyal people, very connected people, people who embrace the people that embrace the city too. So
Mhm.
I think that, but again, yeah, I was in Memphis like 30 years ago, just for one night. But yeah, I just want to state for the record that I think that some of the bad rap that Memphis gets, I don't, I don't associate with that. I think that,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, it seems like a locked-in city, and I love that. Yeah, it's
Yeah, it is. It's a very, that's why they call it grind city because people are hardworking people here. They get to the money. They do whatever they can to make it work. So
mm-hmm. And that like they are like loyal, like stay together. That you have that sense of community in Memphis.
yep.
Yeah. Okay. I was asking, but I got that sense. Okay. Final question. What's your starting five for the first game next season?
The first game starting five. Okay.
It's in Utah, I think, but whatever it is. But yeah.
First start. Okay, so we got. I want to see John Moran out there. Obviously, Desmond Bain. The three spot is kind of up in the air. I won't. I'm hearing Marcus Smart, but I was sliding Vince Williams Jr. So that's
Mm-hmm.
my three. The four, Jaron, and the five, Zach Edey. So that's my 45. Ja, Bain, Vince, Jaron, and Edey. So
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. And yeah, and like closing games, which five would you see the most?
which five closing games? I would put Jaron in that spot closing.
Okay, okay, okay. So, I think I got all the questions. You answered all my questions.
All right.
I want to thank you for being here. It was really a pleasure to have you here. It was an honor, and uh, coming in next season, which is like a little bit more than a month. I'm gonna do another series of podcasts, and hopefully the season going well. There are no injuries, and so hopefully, if
Oh,
you're willing, you can come back and we have more things to talk about how the season is going. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm really looking so forward for this season because I did watch last season. I
mhm.
did watch 79 games last season, and it was painful. But so I'm really like looking forward to this upcoming season because the get back is on the way, I believe.
Yeah, it is. I just hope for a healthy, good season. Everybody is doing their part, and helping each other out, and hopefully we can make the playoffs again and make a run, make a series run, and let the NBA know that Memphis is here and they ain't going nowhere. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We ain't going nowhere for sure, for sure. As long as we stay healthy, we ain't going nowhere. So Nate, once again, thank you so much for being here. Um, I'm going to ask you to come here again in a couple of months when
okay,
the season is on. So um, thank you for being here. Thank you for all the questions that you answered, and yeah, that's it. And thank you once again.
all right.
Okay.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I do have a question though.
Yeah, go ahead.
So how's it being a fan from Portugal? Like a Grizzlies fan from Portugal. How's it being a fan?
It is. Uh, it's a very good question. Uh, I'm not. To be honest, I used to watch NBA like back in the 90s, a little bit, but then I stopped watching, and like in 2021 I started watching again, and
Okay.
because of Jamaran, I started to pay attention to the Grizzlies, and I really fell in love with the Grizzlies, and that's why I was talking with you about the city, the mentality, because I saw a lot of the things and I watched things and I understood the feeling of the city. And to answer your question, to me, a Memphis Grizzlies fan in Portugal. Well, as probably it happens in America. It happens uh, probably all over the world. There, it's more likely that you will going to find Celtics fans, Lakers fans,
Mm-hmm.
those kinds of types fans. But for me, it's something that I hold with much pride. Yeah, to because mm, I really feel connected to the team, to the city, to the people of the city that I know through social media, through the of course because of the Grizzlies. So it is, well, the best way I can put it is something that I feel very proud about, and something that I hold up really high. And Jesus, I just want to see the Grizzlies going on a very good season again, because as it happens, and I see this, of course, I see this on social media, I see this on Twitter a lot. Because Grizzlies are always like the underdogs, and it's the same here. It's the same in Europe. Okay, and for me, being so connected to the team, being so so locked in with the team, it's really a very special feeling, because in fact I am rooting for a team, and I am really rooting because, as I told you last year, and with the time thing, it's 6 hours. Usually, it's 6 hours later here in Portugal. So when a game starts at 7 p.m. in Memphis, it starts at 1 a.m. here,
Oh wow.
and yeah, and I do work, so I don't I don't spend my whole life on Twitter or something. I do have to work, and I do have to wake up in the morning and stuff like that. But I only don't watch a game if I have to work at the time of the game. And so, yeah, for me, it's really special to feel a connection so deep um, with a team that's like an ocean away from my hometown, which is Porto, by the way. And and yeah, it's really, really special. And also to feel, and I feel this from a lot of fans in Memphis. Also, the fact that they appreciate it. They feel also locked in with the fact that I am locked in. So I feel, to put it short, because to put it short, I feel like I just became part of a like a perfect family that was meant to be, by supporting the Grizzlies and being so locked in the Grizzlies and also in Memphis. That's it.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you for that question. It was
You're welcome.
yeah, it was really cool, and that's something that I always want to. I like to to tell people why do I get so locked in on Grizzlies. Yeah. Okay, so thank you once again. We'll be back like in November, December,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah. Just hit me up.
Yeah, yeah. I'll hit you up, and we'll have new topics. You know, the season, how it's going.
Mm.
It's going to be a blast. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm
Yeah,
sure. I'm sure. Yeah, yeah.
it's gonna be
Okay,
lit.
man. Yeah. Okay, man. Stay good. Okay. And everyone that was listening, it was. I hope you all enjoyed. I enjoyed a lot talking with Nate from Memphis. With all due respect to, from of course, from all the fans of all other parts of the world, but I do have a little thing going on when I speak with people from Memphis, like the city that unites us all together. So once again, Nate, thank you for being here. And you know, all of you just tune up for more episodes coming, especially when the season starts. Okay, so stay good, y'all.